minutes. So welcome to the October board meeting.
Thank you.
The first item after the chair's call to order would be the review of schedules and agendas of the present board members. Do you have any time restraints today that we would need to take into consideration?
I do, and that's 4 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Our member Noelle Newman is also on her way. She had a court appointment and had informed the board that she would be available as soon as possible afterwards. We have a quorum with 3 board members present and could continue with the new business, since we have 3 of our applicants for a charitable gift solicitation waivers on board and online, and could start with that if the board is all right with that.
Yeah, the board, that's what we'd like to do out of courtesy.
Okay.
Thank you. What's first on the agenda?
First is the gift solicitation waiver for Be More Beautiful Environmental Control Board.
Right. Yeah, let's start with that. Who's here on their behalf?
That would be me, the Executive Director, Brittany Vendries.
Thank you very much for being here. And we'll try to get you down here as quick as possible. I do have to say that I found your waiver request to be very thorough, and I was impressed by it. So I don't know if you got any help from anybody, but it's really good. So I won't tip my hand, but I appreciate the thoroughness. So given the scope of what you're looking to do, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
You could go ahead and tell us what you'd like to, and we'll open up for questions with the members.
Okay, I'll just give a quick overview if that's okay. So the Environmental Control Board is primarily administrative hearing board. We provide hearings for people who have environmental citations, but a secondary program that we have is Be More Beautiful, because we don't believe in just being penalizing. We also want to provide education to people. So they walk away from our agency not just knowing maybe what they did wrong, but also how to fix it. So Be More Beautiful is really focused on cleaning and greening, and we've recently added an additional section with regard to volunteerism and workshopping. It all kind of started with Bloomberg, who gave us money to do urban gardening workshops and provide money to people who wanted to start urban gardens in Baltimore City. So we're continuing that effort, but we want to, and we have been providing stipends for speakers to come in and talk to people about these kinds of, just to do the workshops about bioremediation, about like if they want to start beekeeping, things like that, specialty things that are outside of our wheelhouse, essentially, in terms of the knowledge that we have that with the staffing. So we reach out to master gardeners, various communities that already have gardens, so that there can be kind of like a each one teach one situation. These stipends typically go towards providing any sort of tools that they may need for the workshop, because some of these are hands-on workshops where people would show up in person, and we don't want to put it on the communities or the master gardeners to fund their own workshop for what could be up to 20, 30 people. So it's usually very nominal, maybe $200, maybe $100, kind of depending on what exactly they're doing. But that's what this donation would go towards. So people could donate and it would fund these kinds of workshops, and specifically the facilitation of the workshops. We try to do 1 to 2 a month. That's it.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany, for your application and your presentation. I thought your application was excellent and your presentation was just as good. And I'm favorable to this request. I just wanted to know, if you don't get donations, does the city have this in its budget? I guess I'm asking, really, the question is, why do you have to go and ask people for money? Isn't the city giving you money for this worthy program? Because it seems like a really good program.
It is a good program. We do have a budget for it. Our budget was cut, not entirely, but we did lose some money in this particular budget line. I can't say why, because I didn't do the cut myself, but we did unfortunately lose some of the funding. So we would have to basically take money away from the grants that we give to try and continue the program at its current level, or we would have to do internal training with our people. It's just that our people, again, don't have some of the specialized knowledge that would come with some of the programs that we like to do. So that's pretty much it. We do have some money towards it. That's actually how we're doing it this year. So this would just help supplement some of the money that we lost.
Got it. Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
The amount of money that you have, madam, if you're unable to raise much funds through this process, could you still accomplish pretty much what we're seeking to do with a reduced magnitude of your of the grants that you give? If I'm calling the amounts properly.
I apologize. I don't think I followed the question. Could you say it one
Okay.
more time?
Do you have I guess I should ask a different way by saying, how much do you have left over from the previous years?
So the way that the fiscal years go is that they restart in July. So they don't roll over. So any
okay.
money that we might have had, from the prior fiscal year does not carry over into this fiscal year.
Okay, I just was curious. As our chairman said, your write-up was impressive and worthy of favorable consideration.
We do have for this fiscal year $2,000 for the entirety of the year, and that would be to do the stipends, and that would be for the speakers. And also sometimes we'll have to rent a space depending on what it is, but we do try to use like rec and park spaces and take advantage of what the city already has to offer.
Right.
But yeah, we have about $2,000 for this fiscal year. I mean, we spent some of it, but that was how much was budgeted for this fiscal year.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We're a little agency. We have a little budget in general because we're a little agency.
So thank you. Any other questions
Thank you.
for the executive director? All right, hearing no further questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the gift solicitation waiver for the UCB.
I second it.
Second.
All right. Motion and seconded for approval of a gift solicitation waiver for Be More Beautiful program through the Environmental Control Board. All in favor of said waiver signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much for being here. We've approved your application, and again, we appreciate the thoroughness of the request.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks.
You too.
You too.
All right, thank you. We have information technology here. Is that Mayor's office? Well, no, that's not Mayor's Office of Cable Communications. I had printed all these out this morning, so I've got my docket's old now. I was at the courthouse when you sent the updated one, so I'm going to have to find that, and we'll get that started. So information technology is here, and if I just don't have that in front of me right now, so these last minute ones, they kind of drive me crazy. I'm not going to lie, because I kind of prepare these things in advance. So I know that we're trying to accommodate various agencies. It's just that for a volunteer board, and we're trying to digest all this stuff in advance, it can get difficult for us. So if you could just bear with us for a second here.
Are we talking about the Office of Broadband and Digital Equity application?
I think
Yes.
so. Fortunately, I have to.
So we
yeah.
also have the mayor, excuse me, the Mayor Scott's annual sneaker ball and youth work fundraiser that we could start with.
Right, and that one I have on my old agenda, but let me just, I'm just waiting for the new public agenda to download. Other boards, they give you 100 pages and kill a tree. I try to put this all on my computer, so I don't kill a tree, but it's just going to take a minute. It's 23 megs. But yeah, I have that on the agenda that's already up in front of me. Do you mind if we just do that? Because I've reviewed that, and I'm certainly in a position to just and consider that at this time. So yeah, let's call the MOCC, the annual Sneaker Ball and Youth Works fundraiser, GSW, consideration here. Who's here from MOCC?
It's myself, Ebony Thorne, and the director, Maya Gilmore.
Oh, great. Yes. How you doing, Director Gilmore? How are you doing, man?
Hi, how are you all?
Oh, we're doing
And
great.
so I'm in the car too. I came out. We're filming all day today, but I came out to hop
Oh,
on
wow.
and support so that I can kind of go through what this event is.
Right.
So I'll
And
be
the-
brief.
Uh-huh.
You ready for us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, so this year, Mayor Scott has made the decision that he wanted to draw a fundraiser to support the Summer Youth Works program. And so, because coming off the success of his sneaker ball last year, that was not a part of the administration, he thought that would be a great way to bring people in to help support youth work. And so we basically are going to solicit sponsors and for the event and donors for the event. Right now, we just recently learned that the Civic Fund also does solicitation. And so we probably will need to make an amendment to our application to add this, that the Civic Fund will also be soliciting on the mayor's office behalf. But we can submit that amendment to you all. But that's pretty much it. It'll be an event similar to a party. We'll talk about YouthWorks, the YouthWorks program, the funds that we'll receive in terms of ticket sales and sponsorships will go towards supporting the Summer YouthWorks program, where we employ 8,500 young people throughout the summer. And that's pretty much it.
all right, wonderful. I also noticed I like the format of the gift solicitation waiver that y'all drafted as well. I appreciate that. I don't have any questions based on my review of that application. Do the other members have any questions?
Just to confirm, is this something we've seen in the past? That is, this is a kind of a regular request from the mayor's office for this particular program?
So this will be the first year. 2026 will be the inaugural one, and he wants to continue to throw it annually throughout his term.
And what funded it before?
This is the first one.
Oh, I see. Okay, I thought it was, okay.
I feel like I do feel like it also seems familiar, but we see a lot of these, a lot of different charitable requests. So it's somewhere in between the back to school backpack and the Christmas tree lighting.
Yeah. So we are also doing the tree lighting, which we did that solicitation a while ago, but this is a new one for spring of next year.
Okay. All right. I don't have questions.
I want to ask one more. Who are the corporate partners that are going to be solicited? And why are they called corporate partners?
So we haven't fully identified those partners yet, but we already have a partnership in place that has existed for decades with Comcast, and they provide funding to YouthWorks. So we will likely engage them about as we're in the negotiations with them for something else legal, rethinking and reimagining what their support for YouthWorks is. They already support it through our cable franchise agreement, but we're rethinking and reimagining what their support will look like, and it could potentially be through this fundraising effort.
Yeah, so Comcast is certainly a controlled donor, right? I mean, they do a lot of business with the city, as you just indicated with their cable agreement. They basically have a cable monopoly in Baltimore, and I'm guessing they'd like to keep it.
Well, they
Well,
don't
we
have,
don't have, we don't really have too many other options.
Comcast 25 is what tells us what's happening at City Hall. So yeah, they definitely are involved. I have DirecTV, but I don't know how that would work. So I guess there is a monopoly for all intents and purposes.
Well, I don't mean to use power words or anything. I mean, they're the only cable provider, as far as I know. There are others who provide streaming services. But
Mhm.
my point really is that it sounds like we've got negotiations going on with them regarding their agreement, and at the same time, the mayor's going to be soliciting them, or the mayor's office is going to be soliciting them for money for his project.
Well, the Comcast negotiations will include the reimagining of YouthWorks. So
I
it
don't know
wouldn't
if
be
that means
an
reimagining.
addition. It wouldn't be an addition.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what reimagining YouthWorks means out of it.
What our current agreement, reimagining what our current agreement is. So we are asking them to rethink how they support YouthWorks through our franchise agreement. They currently already support it.
So that franchise agreement, is that a contract where the city would provide identifiable consideration? Meaning something in return?
No.
And we do have a controlled donor within the jurisdiction.
We also, if that complicates it, we also do not have to solicit them. But when you ask corporate, I use them as an example.
Mhm.
Yeah, the targeted solicitation of controlled donors is frowned upon by the ethics law. So if an effort could be made to avoid the targeting of specific donors and make the donation as open and general to potential donors as possible, that certainly would assist the adherence to the ethics law.
Sure.
Any other questions? All right, subject to the provisos that were just mentioned, is there a motion to approve this waiver?
I guess I would say, I'd like to see them resubmit the application. They needed to resubmit anyway, and I'd like them to identify if there are other corporate partners that they intend to solicit, I'd like to know who they are. And I'd like them to specifically carve out Comcast or anyone else that is a controlled donor that they were considering soliciting for this, because it just doesn't seem right to me that the mayor's office should be soliciting donations from a company as large as Comcast that has a lot of business with the city and is now renegotiating its own contract.
I also said we don't
We don't what?
have to solicit them.
Right. I know you, and that's that, but I'd like to see that in a revised application. I personally, I mean, if somebody wants to move to approve as is, that's fine, but I'd prefer to see a revised application for this.
So you would like us to specifically state that we will not solicit Comcast? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, or any other corporate partner that you have in mind that is a controlled donor. I don't want to limit it to Comcast if there are others that are not at the top of your mind at the moment. I mean, I know you're in the car and it's difficult to respond,
Well, we haven't identified that list yet of who the corporate sponsors would be. That list has not been identified. We use Comcast as as an example. However, we cannot solicit Comcast, and we can develop a list of other corporate sponsors and check to see if they are if they are controlled donors.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
we do
exactly
need
what
to
I'm.
amend. But we do need to amend to list the Civic Fund as a partner that will also solicit on behalf of the mayor's office.
I
Thank
also
you.
think,
That's what I had in mind, that you would identify your corporate partners, but make sure before soliciting them, they're not controlled donors.
Yep, sure.
but also, just process wise, I noticed that there is no Board of Estimate approval yet on this waiver application, which is really under the ethics law is a condition precedent to ethics board approval. So that also the resubmission would also provide sufficient time for you to submit it to the Board of Estimates, and just that the process is observed while the board is very helpful in many instances in expediting waiver applications before Board of Estimates approval. It is really not the proper process.
Is that a new process? I don't think we've ever had to do that before.
Yes, you do. You do have to do that. That's part of that's what the law prescribes.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that that amended application, and I'm sure once you've been able to amend that you shouldn't have any problem with us. So,
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, we're in a position now to I've got the broadband equity give solicitation waiver up and ready to go. So Deputy Director Moret, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Whitney Moret. I'm the Deputy Director of the Baltimore City Office of Broadband and Digital Equity. I'm joined by our Director, Kenya Osley, who will actually kick it off for us. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Hello, one and all. I'm glad you all were talking about the Comcast franchise agreement because it relates to our gift solicitation, actually. So just to give you all some background, the Baltimore City Office of Information and Technology, we now own, well, we manage the Broadband Digital Equity team. Now, one of our activities is to get more community input in the Comcast renegotiation process. The existing Comcast franchise agreement is expiring in 2026. We had an event yesterday with about 100 people showed up from the digital equity world. And there are all these concerns and questions about what are we doing next? How is Comcast going to be able to continue to provide the support that they are, in addition to any other needs that the ecosystem is in need of? So Whitney submitted this gift request. I'll let her talk more specifically about the request. I just wanted to give you all just a little bit of background on BDE and why we are coming to you at this time.
All right. Thank you, Deputy Director Moret.
Yeah, so our office is currently funded by the American Recovery Program Act. This is COVID funding that we received to expand broadband access throughout Baltimore City and help close the digital divide. That's been our mission over the last couple of years. That funding is coming to a close in June of next year. So the purpose of this gift solicitation is to solicit funding for sustaining our activities after the closure of that grant. Our work is really driven by commitment on the part of the city of Baltimore to closing the digital divide. This is part of the mayor's action plan, goal number 5. And it's also articulated in a 5-year strategy called the Baltimore City Digital Inclusion Strategy. So that spans from 2024 to 2029. Unfortunately, because of our funding situation, we're not going to be in a position to continue to deliver on that without additional funds. So we're putting together a strategy to obtain those funds. We currently have in the works a plan for generating revenue by leasing Baltimore City's proprietary fiber infrastructure to ISPs looking to come and enter the market, but we don't expect that to be sustainable in terms of our staffing and digital equity objectives for probably 2 years after the closure of the ARPA funding. So what we're really trying to do here is build a pathway to get donations to help us reach strategic priorities in the interim term, which would really be focused on sustaining partnerships, bringing in skills training to city-owned tech hubs where we can, and sustaining the gains that we've made over the last couple of years with ARPA funding.
Questions from the board?
Does the city have any budget that they could dedicate to this initiative?
We won't have that
Alrighty.
answer until April of next year.
Ouch. Okay.
Right now, the Broadband Digital Equity Office employs about 11 folks.
Mhm.
We have a revenue generator, but as Whitney expressed, our revenue generator won't start seeing profits for at least 2 years. So this would be a, if you will, this is gap funding until we can become self-sustaining. We also in the process of requesting a special revenue fund so that all the revenue earned through us leasing our infrastructure can be reinvested in the enterprise. So again, this is a gap funding, if you will.
Okay. Thank you.
And who's going to be doing the outreach? I know that you're going to have a blast emails and that kind of thing, but I mean, is it going to be one-on-one outreach, and who's going to be doing it, and how's it going to be decided who they're going to reach out to? Like, for example, if the mayor or the mayor's deputy is going to be having one-on-one, how do you make up his list for who should be approached?
So the outreach will be pretty broad. To give you some examples, we currently convene on a quarterly basis local foundations. The foundations that initially started the office with a $350,000 grant. So we have been meeting with them consistently for the past 4 years. We have made them aware that, and they have remained aware of the fiscal situation, and they are on board to support because we have, again, a revenue generator to cover our costs in the long run. So number one, we're looking at foundations. Some foundations may want the DCA's attention, for instance. Otherwise, we would be making those requests. There are some folks in the Maryland Tech Council, the local TEDCO, that we would also reach out to. So some tech companies we would reach out to. And then there are probably some individuals that we are just beginning to create that list that we would like to reach out to. One particular organization, for instance, is BG&E. They have a special fund to cover requests like this. So we will reach out to them. And thus far, none of those organizations might need or require the mayor's attention. But I will tell you, John, there is a new ISP in Baltimore City. Their name is Greenlight. Greenlight has been itching to get the mayor's attention for quite some time. If you live in North Baltimore, you may have started to see some of their flyers. That's one place I would love to get the mayor to sit down with the head of Greenlight in order to ask them to make a donation to our efforts. So there are a few specific companies that are ISPs, internet service providers, that are moving into Baltimore, where I think we could get them to cover some of our costs. And I'm happy to give you some examples of what the costs are, so you get a sense of what we need support for.
Thank you for that. I guess I find that not problem free if the mayor or anyone is soliciting from people who are doing business or trying to do business with the city. That's exactly, I think, the kind of thing we don't want to encourage, where people feel like if they give a little bit here, they might get something back from the mayor or his deputy or his office. I mean, that seems to me to be problem, honestly.
Yeah, I think that we have an event tomorrow at Shake and Bake. We are launching the first public Wi-Fi network on a main street. There are 10 main streets. What I'm asking Greenlight for, because they're already here in Baltimore. They are not a cable company, so they won't have a cable franchise agreement. What I have already asked them for, and then there's another ISP coming into Baltimore called Think Big. I've asked them both. The third company would be Comcast. I've asked all of them. There are 10 main streets. Would your company be willing to sponsor one of our main streets? That would not necessarily be a financial gift directly to Baltimore City. It would be on their network. But that's the kind of ask I would need the mayor or the DCA or the CA to deliver. So when I say we are going to ask companies that are already in Baltimore, we are looking at those folks that have a vested interest in closing the digital divide and asking them, not in all situations, are we asking them for a cash donation. In some situations like this one, we're asking them to sponsor a Wi-Fi network or to extend their own infrastructure to one of Baltimore City's neighborhoods and provide that coverage for Baltimore City's residents and small businesses. So that's an example of where I may possibly consider bringing in the DCA, the CA, or the mayor. And that's kind of far-fetched because I have relationships with all of those companies already. Verizon is another one. I'm not sure if you all have noticed, but Verizon's now offering fiber in Baltimore City. So where we have ISPs that are interested in already doing business in Baltimore City, separate from what we are doing, we ask them if they can do a little more in our neighborhoods, like our main streets.
So, I mean, just generally, just that we have a common platform of things. So what the gift solicitation is really something that is that aims to include and to exclude, or not exclude, but not specifically solicit from controlled donors. A controlled donor is a company that either has a contractual relation with the city or aspires to have it. I'm looking at the list from the finance department here. Definitely Verizon is on that list of entities doing business with the city. Greenlight is not yet, but so the problem from the ethics perspective is that a gift solicitation is asking a company to give something without expecting anything in return. So anything that anything that requests money from a controlled donor is prohibited under the ethics law. However, if there is a sponsorship, and the sponsorship in the actual contractual sense, that the city or the department is providing something in return for the money that is invested in that, or not invested, but spent on this venture, then it is an agreement that is not necessarily within the purvey of the ethics board. So I think there needs to be a little more differentiation of how exactly there is, how do you make sure that a gift is a gift and not a sponsorship where something is expected from the city in return and should be given by the city in return to take it out of that gift category. If there's general negotiations with those companies by the city, then those could be contractual conditions or agreement points that could be entered into the contract that again would be part of the transaction rather than the gift solicitation.
Okay, thank you for that. So this is probably the most guidance we've received thus far. And I
I'm
know you
always
all
happy
are
to help
volunteers,
out
but
before things.
on the one hand, you ask for an example. I saw Maya went through the same thing. I give you an example just to show you the work that we're doing and how we might engage. So we haven't come up with a list yet of who we would go after, and then once I give you the example, you all zero in on that one company. And so we need help. We need help understanding what the process is, what is and is not allowed. Who do we talk to?
Me.
This is our first time going through this process.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk to you about anything and clarify anything that may be unclear. And that's always the benefit of having the waiver application ahead of the meeting, and ideally having passed through Board of Estimates approval already. Then my suggestion would be, if this is a long-term venture and the gift solicitation is an element of a bigger project, and it sounds like it requires a bigger project to replace the ARPA funding, then I'm happy to work with you on the segments that involve the ethics law, and we could revisit this waiver with the appropriate changes for the next meeting in November.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. So we'll look forward to giving that final consideration in our next meeting. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll get on the same page. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about this further, but yeah, I do think, a lot of these agencies have been filing these GSWs for years, but given the board's focus on some of these issues, it's probably a good idea for us to, through the directorate, I'll say, maybe to let them know that, what we're looking for specifically. I think that'll streamline our meeting. Right?
And it's also, I thankfully, the board has been very receptive to, the short-term turnaround, and I believe this gift waiver this waiver solicitation, the waiver petition came in today, so we were,
so it's good.
We were aware of the extremely short turnaround, but because the board has been so receptive to, on the condition of later Board of Estimates approval to, pass some of the waivers in the past, I think one of the things that the board should consider and I would be happy to implement here more stringently, is that Board of Estimates approval, as it is outlined in the law, is the prerequisite before going before the board, unless it is really an urgent matter. And that this year does not seem to be one. I mean, the expiration of ARPA funding is an established fact for many months, so.
Right.
So,
Well, it's good we got it in today because, you know, otherwise we wouldn't have addressed it at all until the next
Yes.
meeting. Now it can be in ship shape for the next meeting, so. All right, yeah, we'd like to try to accommodate where we can. So,
Yeah.
all right, so that's all of our new business except for the annual report, right?
yes, I don't have old business. We may have numbers, but we're kind of progressing in time here. We have several items on the confidential list, including involving two of our guests who are already present. So what's remaining for the public part is approval of the minutes, staff update, which we could again postpone until next month. Old business, there's from my point of view, there's nothing left here. Staff update, we're continuing our in-person indoctrination and education efforts regarding the ethics law to especially new employees. So all kinds of problems involving entry statements can be avoided and nipped in the bud. And so that is really what we can provide shy of the help desk numbers.
All right, unless there's any objection, let's go to the approval of the minutes of the public session of September 13th.
I've read the minutes and I've read the minutes and I don't have any questions or corrections. So unless there were other questions, I would move to approve them.
Arnold?
Second that motion.
All right, there's a motion. It's been seconded to approve the written minutes, the draft written minutes of September 13th public session. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then Chris, I felt like you gave a very abbreviated staff update there. If you'd like to add, if staff would like to add anything to that, otherwise we can discuss it in further detail next month when we don't have any guests waiting.
I think we're good with postponing.
Okay, great. All right, so we'll postpone that until our next regularly scheduled meeting. And quite frankly, we could talk about the annual report next month too, unless you want to get it done today. But we'll have
I know that Isabel would like to have it published as soon as possible, and you know, any delay that did put it in front of you as late as it was today is my fault.
All right. How about, yeah, I mean, it looks wonderful. I don't know what, quite frankly, what nitpicking we ought to be doing on it. You guys spend a lot of time on it. It's amazing.
Informationally, it is, you know, kind of sparse because we didn't have a whole lot of big cases in the past year. We had no complaints that really developed into like larger board opinions. And so it is really just a release of statistics and a couple of bullet points regarding some of the cases that required, you know, more attention than the regular day-to-day business.
It's attractively packaged. I mean, I have no comments as to form or substance other than it looks great. Let's hear from the rest of the board.
I concur.
Yeah, I mean, you did a good job, and thank you to everyone in the office who participated in its creation. But I mean, yeah, we don't need to sit here and talk about it for 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's awesome. I'm ready to approve it unless y'all have a discussion about it.
This is the annual report we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any objections to it. And do we need to approve it? Is that something?
I don't believe so. If you're fine with, if you don't have objections, I will let Isabel know, and we will put it on our website and on our social media. So Arnold is happy for at least a brief moment.
Make him happy. All right, I'm prepared to approve the 2025 annual report.
Second.
It's been seconded. All in favor of approving the 2025 annual report, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Really good work, everybody. Thank you. You make us look good. And I don't think I have anywhere near the talent or the math ability or the artistic ability to make us look that good. So thank you for doing what you do.
Yes.
All right, then
All
I
right.
think that concludes the official
Yeah.
part. We can go off record and into the administrative section.
Yes, we'll go ahead and adjourn. It's 3:20.